Welcome back, everyone, to Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. There we are. That was weird. Here we are, 2229.
Turn complete.
Turn complete indeed. So, when we left off, we had Yang right up here, and a couple of these guys were at level 7. We'd just gone through and made sure that their growth was going to be stagnant for the rest of the, well, for quite a while. Well, this guy, seemed to have missed him. That's okay. There we go. So let's find out what Yang's going to do with this rover.
Production complete.
He will run away! That's right, folks. When you don't know what to do, just watch them run away, apparently. We also have some artillery and plasma sentinels. Awesome. This guy looks like he's good for now. Let's move this over there. Oh, I see. No minerals. Okay. Okay, I see how it is. No minerals. Sure. Fine. Whatever. Just build the farm anyways. Tell you to hold. Tell you to hold. We have artillery now. It's going to be...
complete.
That's going to be awesome. Let's go ahead and fill out this fungus. Since, look at this. He hit size 7, and he's only got... I'm pointing to the screen again. So this guy's hit size 7. Halls of Discipline here. He has some drone problems, but they'll be solved in a moment. And he's already been maxed out. And he's only got 2 he's only got 2 farms. Okay, that guy's gonna keep building roads. And this is an interesting thing because it's like we could keep growing, but at the same time, like we don't have much. See where I'm going with that? Not a whole lot of space to be growing. So we're just going to build one of a colony pod and then a perimeter defense. They're free. Speaking of which, it reminds me, at the end of the turn, I need to show you something.
Turn complete.
Here we go. Hit F3. That's okay. I don't care what. Just hit F3. See, you should come up with this screen if you're playing this game correctly. If you're not playing this game correctly, if you're watching the video, I don't know what happens when you hit F3, but I don't think the screen comes up. But when I hit F3, the screen comes up. And in the screen is your budget. See? Budget. Or energy allocation. You can go see your other things, like your research with the buttons down here, but F3 brings up the budget and tells you a couple of things. You've got your summary, where you've got your income, maintenance, and anything else from like loan or commerce or whatever. And right next to it, it tells you a detailed list about a base or a type of base facility. You can change the bases or base facilities down here, and you can also see summary information about them. So down here we can see that Sparta Command is bringing in 3, and it's costing 6, so it has a total loss. Currently, Sparta Command is a loss and a drag on the economy. Gosh darn you, Sparta Command, if only you weren't an amazing research powerhouse on the headquarters and everything else, and see, maybe economics isn't the most important thing in the world. We can look down here at Hummel Citadel and see that it's breaking even, and actually the ones that are ahead are some of our newer bases, and that, well, I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense, because look at them. As you click on them, you change what appears here, and they just don't have base facilities yet. I mean, we're working on them, but unlike Sparta Command, which is so advanced that it even has a research hospital, we just don't have the base facilities. On the other hand, we can see all the different base facilities and how much they cost. So 4 rec commons, here's where they are. Here's how much they're costing us. 7 recycling tanks, here's where they are. And that's how much they're costing us. They're free. So we might as well build them everywhere. The headquarters is free, though we can only build one of those. The pressure dome is free, so if we wanted, we could build those, but not super important at the moment. Things to watch out for, though, are guys like the research hospital, which Sparta Command is building has a research hospital, and it's costing us 3. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when your income is only 21, 3 is a fair amount. Especially if you just go, oh, I'll just build research hospitals everywhere. Like, this guy has a research hospital that's almost done, which means that in a turn or two, it's going to be all like, oh my god, more stuff.
Production complete.
On the other hand, research hospitals have a great purpose and a great benefit. So, road, fungus, and solar collector. Move down 1. He's going to do something next turn. And then this next turn, we should have the research hospital built here.
Production complete.
Yep, you just saw that change. And he just produced something, formers. Excellent. So now, if we hit F3, Our income has gone up a little bit, probably because some people grew. Looking down here, Hero's Waypoint, I think, grew. It's hard to see since I didn't memorize them. But we now have 2 research hospitals at -6. Our maintenance has gone up. Our maintenance has gone up. It's actually gone up quite a bit. So we're not getting as much. Something to keep in mind. For now, though, I'm going to build a farm.
Complete.
And this guy is also going to go that way. And this guy has a base. And because he has a base and he's surrounded by a bunch of stuff, we're going to send the rover down to protect him. Because look at this guy. Surrounded by fungus all over the place. Iron Home. Alright. It is the home of iron. And it's going to take 10 turns. So that's a good thing we sent this guy down here. Let's go ahead and fill in the rest of this. Recycling tanks. Fungicidal formers. The fungicidal formers, they're more expensive. But they get to, well, they basically get to clear out fungus for, not free, but for half the time. And I think I mentioned that in the last video. I don't remember. Anyways, let's build a colony pod. And a rec commons, and a children's creche, and a colony pod, and a network node. Just fill it all in, right?
Turn complete.
Excellent. So he's going to take a couple turns. Hopefully he'll get there before any bad stuff happens. This guy just arrived at his destination, and next turn he's going to start leveling that base, or leveling that place for the base. There.
Production complete.
Fleet Anchorage just built a children's creche. Awesome. We'll start building a mine there.
Terraform complete.
Solar collectors over here. Lots of stuff there. I'll talk about that later. And we'll go down there and start working there. Okay, so solar collector. Now, we don't need... Look at this. We've got plenty of nutrients. Okay? Lots of nutrients falling around. Just a moment. So that's why I'm going to build a solar collector here. Also, I'm going to get a fair amount of energy from that. Although... no minerals, I won't get any minerals, but that's okay. There's plenty of opportunities for mining. And with all these little minerals around, that's going to be pretty nice. Now, what does this square mean? This square means overlap. The square means that this, the shaded, I suppose, means that that is currently being used by this guy, as you can see right there. He's being used. So if we wanted... if we really thought that that square was just something super important, then we'd have to like change it over there. And that's why I don't like having overlap, because 2 bases can't get the same resource square. So, overlap at your own risk. Meanwhile, this guy has a solar collector. So we can go ahead and change that from a 1-1 to a 1-1-2. It's actually going to be a 3, but we need some more tech first. And because of that, I figured let's just go ahead and build more solar collectors. Down here, yes. Oh, wow, this guy's up to size 4. Oh, that's pretty good, man. Especially because he only has 1 square developed. But having that 1 square developed means that he can actually start building a few more things. Still, I find it a little odd that we were able to build the children's creche, and it took that long just to get that thing built. Anyways, we're getting 3 minerals out of that, so let's start building something else. Now, when you're building here, remember, look at what the ocean shelf and the ocean squares are. This square is ocean, the square is ocean shelf. So we can build here, we can't build up there. So right here, I'm going to hit S for tidal harness.
Turn complete.
There you go. See, construct tidal harness. It'll give us 3 energy once it's built, which is pretty good.
Drone riots.
Ah, drone riots. And he's size 7 and therefore needs to be somethinged. I don't know. If we put a guy there, we have lots of stuff coming in, lots of nutrients, and we need to actually get rid of some nutrients. So the first thing to do is to get rid of that, and there we go. The second thing to do is going to be take this guy, move him up there, and we'll move our, whatever his name is, our former, up here to deal with it. Now the third issue is that we still have one of these here. And it'd be great if we could keep the minerals. 1 nutrient is going to be fine. We can let it sit there for a while and just use that mineral, the nutrients for growth. It won't hurt. And in fact, if we build a colony pod, it could actually be a good thing. It'd just be nice if we could get the rec commons built before the drones happened. Good grief. Oh well, I shouldn't complain about population. Population is awesome. Things we could do over here, by the way, if we wanted to get rid of this, we could increase the land. So I could come over here And
Terraform complete.
be there in a moment. Solar collector. There we go. Don't know what's down there. So back over here. Control-Shift-X. And here we have the land coming up. Now, formers have an ability to raise and lower land. That usually means by 1,000 meters. And it also raises and lowers the land that's next to that square by 500 to 800 meters. Usually it raises it up by one energy amount. So the square we're at is somehow higher than the square right there. I don't understand that. These are really low, and this one's somehow really high. Huh. Weird. That doesn't make much sense. But anyways, if we were to raise these up, we would probably at least turn this one into land. I think we'd have to raise this one in order to make this land as well. However, as nice as that would be, especially for energy's sake, that could actually have a negative effect. See, take a look at this mountain range. What do you notice? Well, you notice there's a bunch of... Oh, wait, stop that. You notice there's a bunch of green over here and a bunch of brown over here. And there's more brown over here and something, but that's fine, right? Look down at this one. Green on this side, brown on this side. Let's look up here. A lot of green over here and less green, some brown and just not rainy. So here's rainy, this is just moist and arid. And right here, here's an excellent one. We've got green, brown. There's a rain shadow effect, just like in real life. See, the planet spins, and that spinning, combined with the sun hitting it and evaporating water, gives rise to jet streams, large bodies of air that just kind of like currents, large currents of air that push in a direction. And those jet streams are responsible for lots of weather effects. And the thing is, when they go over mountains, they, depending on which direction they're going, they tend to deposit all their rain on one side. So here, we have winds coming in here. Got winds that are going toward this side of the screen. They're picking up water from the west and depositing it on the western side, because as they bring this water up, it gets higher and higher and higher in order to get over this mountain. And as it gets higher, it condenses. And when you have water condensing, it turns into clouds and then rain. And so you get all this rain that just kind of builds up over here. And on the other side of the mountain, you don't have as much. Now, sometimes that doesn't, like, this is not the best example because we have mountains here. So again, we're getting rain here, and we're getting a little bit of rain over there. But look over here. Lots of dry land because the rain can't make it across these mountains. Here, we have a rainy valley, and this guy in the middle of really dry land. Hero's Waypoint is going to struggle to grow. It's not going to be nearly as successful as Centurion's Cave, which has like all this rainy area and that. Centurion's Cave is at 5 and has 3 things developed. Look at this guy. Halls of Discipline is at 7, and it only has 2 squares that are developed. Fort Legion is at 3, and it's barely been developed. It hasn't even started to be developed. So this guy and this guy, they're going to grow a little more slowly. So if we raise this land, we get these squares available. But we might also start altering some of the environment. We'll probably get a little bit more rain over here, a little bit less rain right here. It could affect Sparta Command. It'll be good for this side, but not as good for this area right here. Let's Control-Shift-X, and you can see that a little more clearly. So just be aware of that when you're playing this game. Rain shadow does matter. And if you go to F1, the data links, basic concepts, come down here and find rainfall. You can see that in addition to coastal and tropical regions, the western or upwind slopes of mountain ranges tend to be quite rainy, since warm, moisture-laden air cools as it rises and sheds its moisture as rainfall. Same thing. Areas east or downwind of mountain ranges tend to be quite arid. One thing they suggest then is, of course, putting a bunch of hills over here so that we get lots of, wet bases over this side. But right now, nutrients are not something that we need.
Having now established a secure perimeter, we have made ourselves relatively safe from enemy incursions. But against the seemingly random attacks by planet's native life, only our array of warning sensors can help us. For the mind worms infiltrate through every crevice and chew through anything softer than plasma steel. Lady Deidre Sky, the early years.
Too bad we won't be hearing more from her. I find it interesting that the mindworms can chew through like anything softer than plasma steel, which implies that other metals as well. But we have a perimeter defense, and you can kind of see it there. It's just a it's a wall. So we have a wall. Yay, wall! And that wall helps give anything that's inside the base a defensive bonus. Super nice. Super awesome. Way to go, wall. Woo, wall! Also,
Drone riots have ended.
that's always good to know. Some other things there. This guy needs... Look at this! He had 6! He was at 5 last turn, and like, he's growing like crazy. Good grief. Well, what I was going to say is that these things are completely free. They don't cost any money. So, might as well build another one. Although, actually, I want to do that in the other order. I want to change that, and then that. Because the labs are more important. Although we're going to get some labs bonuses, or possibly some economic bonuses. We don't need as much stuff here. So let's move that over there. And then we're losing some minerals, but that's okay. That's okay. Well, oh, I guess it's a 1 turn difference, isn't it? That might matter. But we are going to have to take some down soon. We'll wait till this gets 7. Luckily, we got that retcon instead of neutron riots.
Terraform complete.
Excellent. This guy made it. Still 7 turns to produce the Transplasma Sentinels. That's going to be a while. We could hurry it, but I'd rather save the energy for something else. So shift hold. This guy finally has some more nutrients, although it's not a lot of nutrients. We're going to have to build a farm somewhere else or move one of these things up to an existing farm. Actually, we really should have a farm right there, but might take a little bit. So, because when this guy grows, we don't want him to be hungry. So let's go ahead and move right here. Meanwhile, this colony pod will move up there. And he's currently stockpiling energy, which is not the best. We can always change it to a network node. Which, yes, it costs 1 money, but the benefits it gives us are really important. And I'll put a perimeter defense in there just for fun. Over here, we have a rec common and a children's creche. You know what? Maybe we don't need that children's creche. Let's build a colony pod. See, we can build seed stuff. I don't want that, which is why I'm tempted to get rid of that stuff. Anyways, let's continue moving over there to get the mine. This guy's going to wait a couple turns. We're building fungicidal formers in here, so I already have a couple formers. Oh well. We lost so many minerals, we might as well support, right?
Turn complete.
Just hit space.
Production complete.
Ooh, forest expands near Spartak. Oh, it expanded down here. Well, that was unexpected. Usually I thought it would... Okay. That happens from time to time. So building a forest, it will expand. Forests are a great way to counteract arid regions. Because in addition to... they provide you with some nutrients. So they're like having a condenser and making this moist. They don't affect rainfall anywhere else. They give you minerals and energy. So they're a pretty good square. Really, and my dad uses them all the time. It sounds like a weird thing to say, but whatever. You are going to go up here to help them out.
Complete.
Alright, I'm just checking to make sure we have a rec commons. Good, okay. And down here we're going to connect these land. And here we shall build us a farm. Because farms are useful. Farm there. Actually, this is another spot where we could just build a bunch of forest, because, I mean, the nutrient bonus is not going to be any better. The thing is, though, if we build a farm, we get 1 better, but the forest might be more helpful, might not. I'd still rather put solar collectors around, especially on the ridge, because it's going to get a lot. Okay, this guy. 2 options here. We can either move right over here, or we can move him on the transport, because we're going to build transport in a couple turns. And we could put him over on this island, or one of these other lands, far away. Now, being so far from our headquarters, he's going to suffer some inefficiency. But it'd be kind of cool. it would. It would be kind of cool. On the other hand, we could just expand right there, which would fill in a gap, and I'm not entirely sure when the next colony pod is coming out. Meanwhile, the transport foil can wander around while we get another colony pod ready. But there's so many colony pods that have to get sent out and everything that it doesn't really matter whether it goes one or the other. So let's just be clever and send it right over there. And if we need to, we've got colony pods. That's what they're there for. But let's colonize this land since we have so much of it first. I don't know. It just seems like a good idea. Look at this! 7! His growth was not at 7 turns last turn. He's like in a population boom or something. He's growing every turn, and it is ridiculous. I do not know how he's growing this fast. I think it is a population boom or a golden age of sort, and the game has refused to, or just hadn't told us. I'm not sure. It probably has something to do with the children's crash. At any rate, we can't support this anymore because it's just going to hit the max the max amount every turn now. So we're going to have to find something else to do with it. Now, if we put a guy there, we get some energy, which is great. But it doesn't. It gives us a point of research and a point of inefficiency. So some of it actually gets wasted. Yeah, that's all. It gives us a point of research. So because some of it gets wasted, it's not. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that. And we're just going to have to get rid of that one. This one, I mean, we could put him right up there. We've got other options for this that would make this stagnant. But none of them also give him minerals. So if we put him by... Oh, here we go. We could get minerals or energy. Let's go for minerals because I have a plan. Instead of that, we're going to make this guy a librarian. Now, I'm going to stop here and warn you. I don't know what's going on, but the past couple times I've tried this, clicking down here too much to change these guys around sometimes causes a fatal error, and your game might crash. Last time that happened, I was able to save the game before it crashed, and like before I had to restart it, but keep that in mind. I'm going to go down to that square and build a mine and sim up there. Here we go. Tidal harness. This tidal harness gives us, well, it only gives us 2 at the moment, but it will give us 3 once we get the tech to improve that number. That'll be a very nice tech to get. If I could just remember what one it is. Oh well. We're going to continue building tidal harnesses in the region because they're going to give us more than the mining platforms will. The mining platforms are only like give us 1 or 2, so they're useful when you've got it on a minerals bonus, but they're not super useful otherwise. So let's just build more energy and get lots of energy. Woo! Faction dominance!
Production complete.
Alright.
Terraform complete.
Build a road. Up here we've cleared out the fungus, so let's build a mine. We're still growing. I'm going to take that one out. There we go. Let's build us a mine. Build a mine up there. He's just waiting. He's built a solar collector, which, if we clicked on that, would give us 2. No better than this one, which is going to give us 3. So we'll just wait while he comes up here to... It's an arid square. If I build a solar collector there, the elevation is such that we're not going to get a whole lot out of it, are we? I might just put a forest there. Shift F. And a mine here.
Turn complete.
Alright. We have 3 more years for industrial economics, but I've just hit the video limit and I don't want to go over 2 gigabytes. So we're going to stop there, and you'll just have to wait till next time to find out about industrial economics. Don't worry though, we're doing really well, and as long as we keep up this expansion, this faction dominance will continue to improve. Now, of course, expansion is limited in a game with a finite surface area, but we've got a long way to go, and beating this fire ahead is awesome. Take that, game. Of course, I am playing on one of the easier difficulties, so whatever. Oh no! We can take that, don't worry about it. Anyways, next time we'll find out about that tech, We will make sure that none of these guys continue to grow, and we'll watch out for this newbies. Hopefully we'll get the energy going again. And yeah, it'll be good. So until next time, don't catch on fire.